I read somewhere that love is like Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's weak, but we all start panicking the second we lose the signal. Pretty accurate, right? Folks, let's be honest, in today's world, half of romance happens through our phones. The little glowing screen in your hand has replaced love letters, surprise knocks on the window, and late-night mixtapes. Now it's all about that one text, the one message that makes someone grin like a fool, roll over in bed and whisper, "Oh, this person is different." Now, I'm not talking about boring messages like good night or sweet dreams. My friends, those are the text equivalent of a plain slice of bread. Sure, it fills space, but where's the butter? Where's the jam? Where's the spice? The goal here isn't to put someone to sleep, it's to keep them awake, thinking about you. You don't want to be another name lost in the inbox graveyard. You want to be the thought that sneaks into their mind right as their head hits the pillow. Think about it. When the lights are off and the world is quiet, our brains go wild. It's like a movie theater in there. Memories, hopes, worries, random songs we don't even like, all playing on loop. That's your chance, folks. That's when a clever, playful, or sweet message can slip into their imagination like a catchy tune. And if you do it right, guess what? They'll be humming your song all night long. Most people mess this up because they think texting is just about words. They'll type "night, sleep well" and expect fireworks. Sorry to break it to you, but that's like showing up to a costume party wearing regular jeans. You won't get booed out, but nobody's going to remember you either. What you need is a spark, something unexpected, something that makes them laugh, blush, or scratch their head in the best way possible. Here's a little secret. Humans love curiosity. Curiosity is like chocolate cake. You can't resist taking at least one bite. A good night message that leaves a question mark in someone's head is way more powerful than a message that tries to wrap everything up in a bow. You don't have to be Shakespeare. You just have to be fun, confident, and a little unpredictable. It's like that famous line, "Don't count the days, make the days count." Same goes for texts. Don't just send a message to check the box. Send something that makes them feel something, something that paints a picture. Imagine texting, "Good night. Don't let your pillow get too jealous. I know I'm the one on your mind." Boom. Now their brain is juggling between the pillow, you, and the idea of missing you. That's not just a text. That's planting yourself in their late-night daydream. And listen, folks, you don't have to be smooth 24/7. Sometimes humor is the golden ticket. Throw in a silly metaphor like, "Good night. May your dreams be as sweet as donuts on a Monday morning." Who doesn't smile at that? It's light, it's fun, and most importantly, it's you. Because at the end of the day, texts don't have to be perfect. They just have to feel real. So why are we here? Simple. We're here to make sure you don't blend in. We're here to turn your messages into little treasures, into sparks that light up someone's imagination long after they've put down the phone. Because here's the truth. Ordinary messages get ignored. Memorable messages, they get replayed in someone's head again and again, like their favorite song stuck on repeat. By the end of this, you'll know 6 goodnight texts that aren't just goodnight texts. They're little magic tricks. They'll help you stand out, stay unforgettable, and maybe even become the reason someone wakes up smiling. So grab your metaphorical seatbelt, my friends, because we're about to upgrade your texting game forever. Message 1. Good night. I'll try not to show up in your dreams, but no promises. They say dreams are like free movies. The only problem is you never get to pick the genre. Sometimes it's action, sometimes it's horror, and sometimes it's just you running late to class, even though you graduated 10 years ago. But what if you could sneak yourself into someone else's dream? Imagine slipping into their midnight movie as a surprise guest star. That's exactly the energy behind the line. Good night. I'll try not to show up in your dreams, but no promises. Now, why does this work so well? Because most people play it way too safe with their texts. Good night, sweet dreams, sleep well. Those are fine, but let's be real, folks. They're the text version of plain boiled potatoes. Nothing wrong with potatoes, but they don't exactly set the room on fire. This line, though, this is potatoes turned into crispy fries with extra seasoning. Suddenly, the flavor wakes you up. Suddenly, it's something you remember. But here's the tricky part. Most folks are scared to send a text like this. They think, what if it sounds silly? What if they don't get it? What if they don't reply? Fear always tries to keep us in the land of boring. It whispers, just say something safe so you don't look dumb. But the truth is, safe texts are the ones people forget. It's like going to karaoke night and deciding not to sing because you don't want to embarrass yourself. Guess what? The person who belts out an off-key Bohemian Rhapsody gets remembered, cheered on, maybe even gets free nachos. Playing it safe gets you silence. Taking the risk gets you remembered. Think about how this message lands when they read it. Two things might happen. They might laugh and think, who does this person think they are? Or they might smile and secretly hope you do show up in their dreams. But here's the magic. You win in both cases. Because even if they're laughing at your boldness, they're still thinking about you. And the point of the game is to live rent-free in their mind, isn't it? It's like that annoying jingle from a commercial. You might roll your eyes at it, but you'll still be humming it in the shower. Let's zoom in on why it works. Our brains are addicted to curiosity. It's like chocolate cake. We know we don't need it, but we can't resist. A regular good night message closes the door. This one leaves it cracked open, just enough for their imagination to sneak through. It's a question without a question mark. Will they show up in my dream? What would that even look like? Suddenly you're not just a text. They're picturing you, imagining scenarios, creating stories around you. That's the power of suggestion. You're not forcing it. You're planting a seed, and their own imagination waters it. Of course, it feels bold, a little cheeky, but cheeky is good. Cheeky is memorable. Cheeky is that bright red hat in a sea of black baseball caps. People notice it. They whisper about it. They smile at it. Fortune favors the bold, my friends, and in texting, attention favors the bold too. Now, let's be honest, the reason many avoid sending something like this is fear of rejection. It's easier to type sleep well and hide behind normal, but what's the cost of being normal? Being forgotten. Nobody remembers the 10th person who texted sweet dreams, but they will remember the one who dared to say, I'll try not to show up in your dreams, but no promises. That's confidence, that's fun, and that's how you plant yourself in someone's thoughts. The funny thing is, people often mistake confidence for arrogance, but there's a huge difference. Arrogance says, you owe me attention. Confidence says, I know I'm worth your attention whether you give it or not. This line is confidence dressed up in playfulness. You're not begging for a response. You're not trying too hard. You're simply putting the idea out there, letting it float in their imagination and moving on with your night. That's powerful energy. Now let's talk about why it feels difficult at first, because stepping out of the safe zone always feels uncomfortable. It's like jumping into a cold pool. Your body screams, "Nope, get out." But give it a minute and suddenly you're swimming freely, wondering why you were scared in the first place. Sending a message like this is the same. At first, your brain panics. What if they don't reply? But here's the truth. You're not sending it for validation. You're sending it to show that you're different, that you're bold, that you refuse to be ordinary. Even if they don't reply, they'll remember it. And memory is more powerful than a quick emoji reaction. This is where you rise above the fear. You stop believing the lie that says, "If I play it safe, I'll be liked." No, safe doesn't get you liked. Safe gets you ignored. It's the bold ones, the playful ones, the confident ones who leave a mark. And leaving a mark is the whole point. So let's flip the script. Instead of being afraid, what if you believed this? My words matter. My energy is different. My presence is unforgettable. That changes everything. Suddenly, a playful line becomes more than a text. It becomes a statement. It says, "I'm not here to blend in. I'm here to stand out. I'm here to take up space in your thoughts." And folks, here's the best part. When they finally put down their phone and drift off to sleep, there's a good chance they'll actually dream about you. Not because you forced it, but because you suggested it. That's the magic of psychology. That's the magic of being clever, bold, and intentional. You're not just another voice in the noise. You're the spark, the story, the unforgettable line that echoes in their head long after the lights go out. Now here's what I want you to do. Say this with me. I am not here to be basic. I am here to be unforgettable. Write it in the comments. Don't just whisper it to yourself. Put it out there. Show yourself. Show me. Show the world around you that you've decided to stop blending in. Because once you claim it, you start living it. And stay with me, because this was just the first taste. If this one little line plants the seed of curiosity, the next one takes it to another level. Imagine not just showing up in someone's dream, but making them smile before they even open their eyes in the morning. That's where we're heading, my friends. Buckle up. The best is yet to come. Message 2. Rest well, but don't smile too much tomorrow thinking about me. Now, come on, folks. Tell me that doesn't sound like the kind of line you'd see scribbled on the bathroom wall of destiny. It's bold, it's cheeky, and it's the kind of playful confidence that makes someone stop, grin, and reread it just to make sure they caught it right. This isn't just another bedtime message. It's a statement, a little wink across the distance, a reminder that you're not just another name in their inbox. Most people, when they send a good night text, sound like they're reading off a Hallmark card. Good night. Sweet dreams. Talk tomorrow. Folks, that's like serving plain oatmeal for dessert. Sure, it's food, but nobody's raving about it later. This line, though, is different. It's the chocolate lava cake with the gooey center. It's the dish that people take a picture of before eating because it's just that memorable. And the beauty is, it's only one sentence long. Why does it hit so hard? Because you're doing two clever things at once. First, you're planting the idea that they'll be thinking about you. Second, you're making them smile in the exact moment they read it. That's like throwing a boomerang that hits twice, once now, once tomorrow, a double win. Now let's break down why most folks are too scared to send something like this. It all comes down to fear of being misunderstood. They worry, what if it sounds arrogant? What if they don't take it the right way? So instead of sending something bold, they water themselves down. They settle for safe. But safe is forgettable. Safe is invisible. Safe is being the extra in a movie when you were born to be the main character. The truth is, this message isn't arrogance at all. Arrogance says, "You owe me your time." Confidence says, "I know I'm worth your time." And this line is dripping with that second one. It doesn't demand attention, it assumes it. It's like walking into a room with your shoulders back and your smile easy. You're not yelling for people to notice you, but somehow they do. Confidence is magnetic, and this text radiates it. Picture this. They're lying in bed, scrolling through their phone. They read your message and their lips curl into a grin. And then a thought sneaks in. Why is this person so sure of themselves? Why do they sound like they already know I'll be smiling tomorrow? That tiny spark of curiosity is everything, because once they start thinking about you, really thinking, you've already set yourself apart from the endless stream of predictable, bland, cookie-cutter texts they're used to. Think of it like this. Everyone else is playing checkers, and you're over here playing chess. Everyone else is saying good night to close the conversation, but you're saying something that opens up a story in their head. That's how you move differently. That's how you stand out. And folks, let's not pretend it doesn't take guts. Sending something like this can feel like stepping onto a stage with a spotlight on you. Your heart might whisper, "Play it safe. Don't risk it. Just blend in." But let me ask you, when has blending in ever made anyone unforgettable? Safe is the path to being average. Bold is the path to being remembered. It's like that famous line, "Ships are safe in the harbor," but that's not what ships are built for. You weren't built to hide in the safe harbor of generic texting. You were built to sail out, take risks, and leave ripples in someone else's thoughts. That's exactly what this message does. It sails straight into their imagination. And here's the kicker. You don't need them to reply right away for it to work. Whether they respond with a laughing emoji, a playful comeback, or even silence, the thought is planted. They'll still think about it tomorrow when they catch themselves smiling. They'll still wonder why you sounded so sure of yourself. That's power. Now let's flip the script for a moment. Why is it so difficult for people to embrace this kind of confidence? Because society conditions us to play small. From a young age we're taught, don't brag, don't be too much, don't draw too much attention. And while humility is beautiful, shrinking yourself into invisibility isn't. People confuse humility with playing small. But folks, humility isn't saying, "I'm not worth it." Humility is knowing you're worth it without needing to shout about it. This text is humble confidence at its best. It doesn't scream, "Look at me." It just casually strolls into their mind and sets up camp. And here's a little secret. People love being around others who know their value. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel excited. It makes them curious. That's why confidence is so attractive. It's not just about you. It's about how you make the other person feel. When they read a message like this, they feel like they're part of something fun, something light, something alive. That's the energy most people are starving for. Now, let's bring this home with some motivation. Imagine sending this tonight. Imagine the smile it causes. Imagine the ripple effect of one playful line that makes you unforgettable. You're not here to beg for attention. You're not here to blend into the sea of safe. You're here to shine a light, to leave a mark, to spark joy. And that spark is what sets you apart. So say it out loud with me. I will not be boring. I will not play it safe. I will be remembered. Write it in the comments. Claim it for yourself. Show me, show yourself. Show the world around you that you're done hiding in the shadows of average. Because once you declare it, once you step into it, you'll start living it. And my friends, don't get too comfortable yet. This was just message number 2. If you think planting the idea of tomorrow's smile is clever, wait until you see the next one. The next one takes the game from playful to downright unforgettable. You'll be painting pictures in their imagination they won't be able to erase. Stick with me, it only gets better from here. Message 3. Good night. I hope your pillow isn't jealous that I'm not there. Now tell me that doesn't sound like the kind of line that sneaks into your head and refuses to leave. It's silly, it's playful, and it's clever in a way that makes someone grin before they even realize they're grinning. And that's the magic of it. Because this isn't just a text. This is a little spark disguised as a bedtime message. Picture it. They're lying in bed, the room is dark, the glow of the phone is the only light. They're scrolling through all the usual notifications, maybe even yawning, ready to knock out for the night. Then they read your message. Suddenly, instead of closing their eyes, they're laughing quietly, maybe even shaking their head. Why? Not because the line itself is complicated. It's not. It's because of the energy behind it. Confidence, humor, a touch of cheekiness. It lands differently. It cuts through the ordinary like a bright neon sign flickering in the middle of a sleepy street. Most people don't think this way. They send texts that are safe, predictable, and, let's be honest, forgettable. Good night. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Folks, those are the text equivalent of giving someone a plain cracker when they're craving dessert. Nobody remembers a cracker. But throw in this message and suddenly you're serving a midnight snack that makes them laugh and think at the same time. That's what makes it powerful. The brilliance of this line isn't just in what you say, it's in what you imply. You're not just wishing them good night, you're painting a picture, a pillow, jealous that it doesn't get to be you. That's a tiny little story in itself, and stories are sticky. People don't remember facts, they remember feelings tied to stories. When you send this, you're not just words on a screen, you become part of their imagination. You've walked into their bedtime story without needing an invitation. And let's be real, humor is one of the strongest doorways into connection. You can argue all day about what's attractive, but here's a universal truth. Laughter creates bonds. When someone makes you laugh, even for a moment, you feel a spark. It softens walls, it builds bridges, it makes space for curiosity. And curiosity is where deeper connection begins. This line does all of that with one playful sentence. Think about modern communication for a second. People are drowning in mediocrity. They're bombarded with notifications, texts, and messages that all sound the same. Half the time it feels like everyone is copying each other's scripts. That's why most messages vanish before the brain even registers them. This one doesn't vanish. It lingers. It's a pebble tossed into the pond of their mind, and the ripples stretch out long after they put their phone down. And here's what I love about it. It balances intimacy with innocence. You're not crossing any lines. You're not being too forward. You're teasing without trespassing. It's light-hearted, yet it carries that undertone of attraction. You didn't say, "I wish I was in your bed." That would be too blunt, too heavy. Instead, you let the image of a jealous pillow do the work. It's subtle, it's funny, and it leaves just enough blank space for their imagination to fill in the rest. That blank space is where the magic happens. Now, most people fail here because they over-explain. They spell out every thought like they're writing a manual. Good night, I wish I could be there beside you, holding you, blah, blah, blah. And what happens? The moment dies. The imagination is killed because you've left nothing for the other person to play with. But this message, it's different. It hands them a brush and says, "Here, you paint the rest of the picture." And trust me, they will. Of course, some of you might be thinking, but what if they don't respond? And my answer is, so what? This isn't about begging for validation. This isn't about fishing for a reply. It's about planting a seed. It's about showing you're different from the rest, showing you know how to stand out without trying too hard. Even if they don't text back, they'll remember it. They'll remember how it made them laugh. They'll remember how it made them feel. And in this world, feelings are the currency that matter. Fear keeps most people from sending messages like this. They're afraid of being too much. They're afraid of risking rejection. But playing it safe doesn't protect you. It erases you. Playing it safe is what keeps people stuck in the friend zone, sending safe little crumbs of good night texts that vanish into the void. Confidence is the ultimate aphrodisiac, and this message radiates confidence. It says, I know my worth. I don't need to be timid about it. That kind of energy is magnetic. It reminds me of that quote, life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Well, so does connection. Step outside of safe and suddenly you're living. Suddenly you're being remembered. You don't get there by repeating the same sleep tight that everyone else sends. You get there by daring to be playful, daring to be different, daring to let your personality shine. And here's something else to chew on. People process the world through imagination, especially at night, when the day slows down and the brain starts wandering. When you give someone an image, like a pillow being jealous, they can't help but picture it. They see it, they smile at it, and for that moment, they feel something. That's your victory, because in the end, people don't remember texts word for word. They remember how those texts made them feel. So next time you hesitate, remind yourself of this. You're not here to be background noise. You're not here to blend in with the endless scroll of boring notifications. You're here to stand out. You're here to be remembered. You're here to make someone smile at their screen like they just read a secret joke meant only for them. Say this with me. I will not over-explain. I will not play it safe. I will spark emotions that last. Write it in the comments. Claim it. Show yourself. Show me, and show the world around you that you're not afraid to be bold, not afraid to be playful, not afraid to step into the spotlight of their imagination. And don't get too comfortable, because this was just one line, one message, one tool in your arsenal. If you think a jealous pillow is powerful, wait until you see what comes next. The next one doesn't just make them laugh. It plants you so deep in their thoughts that they'll be telling stories about it the next morning. Buckle up, folks. We're just getting warmed up. Message 4. Good night. Let me know if I make a guest appearance in your dreams. Now, folks, admit it, that sounds less like a bedtime message and more like a movie trailer. You can almost hear the dramatic voiceover, coming soon to a dream near you. And that's the genius of this line. It's playful, it's bold, and it flips a simple good night into a full-on experience. Most people close their day with autopilot texts. Night. Sleep tight. Talk tomorrow. That's the texting version of shutting the door without even looking back. But you're not slamming doors. You're leaving windows cracked open for imagination to sneak in. You're giving them something to carry with them into sleep. And that's why this works. It's not just a text, it's an invitation. Let's imagine the scene. They're lying in bed, phone in hand, ready to swipe through the last few notifications. Suddenly, your message pops up. Let me know if I make a guest appearance in your dreams. What happens? Their eyebrows lift. Their lips curl into a smile. And before they can help it, their mind starts wandering. Wait, why would I dream about them? What would that look like? And boom, you're not just in their phone anymore, you're in their head. That's the beauty of curiosity. As the old saying goes, curiosity is the wick in the candle of learning, and in this case, curiosity is the spark that keeps you glowing in their imagination long after the screen goes dark. You're not handing them all the answers, you're letting them fill in the blanks. And folks, trust me, when people are left to imagine, they always create a story far more vivid than anything you could type out. Now, let's talk about why this takes confidence. Notice you're not asking, "Will you dream about me?" That's needy. That's uncertain. Instead, you're saying, "When you do, just let me know." That's bold. That's playful. That's the energy of someone who doesn't need approval because they already know their worth. And confidence like that, it's magnetic. It pulls people in without you needing to shout or beg. Here's the problem in today's world. Attention spans are shorter than a TikTok clip. Everyone is flooded with texts, memes, reels, emails, ding, ding, ding. You blink and a notification is buried under 5 more. If you want to stand out, you can't be safe. Safe gets lost. Safe is invisible. This line isn't safe. It's intriguing. It's short enough to remember, but clever enough to linger. And let me be clear, this isn't just about them. It's about you too. When you send something like this, you're showing the world who you are. You're showing that you're not just another copy-paste, boring texter. You're showing that you bring fun, creativity, and energy to even the smallest moments. And people notice. They notice when you're different. They notice when you make them feel alive. Think about it. What do people really crave in relationships? Not just someone to text, "How was your day?" 100 times. They crave energy. They crave novelty. They crave moments that make them laugh, wonder, and feel something. That's what this message does. It turns a regular good night into an adventure, into a thought experiment, into a smile that lasts longer than the text itself. But here's the kicker. This takes courage. Why? Because most people are afraid to be bold. They think, what if it's too much? What if they don't get it? So they play small. They send safe little lines that melt into the background. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Playing it safe is what keeps people average. Stepping out of the comfort zone, that's what creates impact. It reminds me of the quote, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." This message, it's a shot worth taking, because even if they don't reply right away, you've already won. You've planted a seed. You've made them think. And even silence, in this case, doesn't erase the fact that your words are echoing in their imagination. That's the power of suggestion. And let's break a myth while we're here. Some people believe you need paragraphs, endless explanations, or over-the-top compliments to grab attention. Wrong. In fact, the less you say, the more powerful it can be. When it's said right. A single clever line carries more weight than 10 desperate ones. Why? Because it leaves space for imagination, and imagination multiplies impact. So what's really happening when you send this? You're turning a one-way message into a two-way experience. You're saying something that asks them to play along. And folks, humans love to play. That's why games, jokes, and teasing banter are so powerful in connection. It's not about the words, it's about the shared energy they create. Now, let's motivate you a little. Think about the choice you have every night. You can either send a text that disappears in seconds, or you can send a text that makes someone carry you into their dreams. You can either blend in with the crowd, or you can be the spark that stands out. And the difference isn't hard work. It's one line, one playful shift, one moment of courage to type something different. Say this with me. I will not be safe. I will not be boring. I will be remembered. Write it in the comments. Show yourself, show me, and show the world that you're not afraid to step outside the box. Because once you own that, once you believe that, you'll never look at communication the same way again. And folks, don't think this is the end. Oh no, we're just getting started. If you think appearing in someone's dreams is bold, wait until you see what comes next. The next message doesn't just invite them to imagine, it makes them wake up with a smile and immediately think of you. It's not just about the night anymore, it's about planting yourself into the very first thought of their morning. Stay tuned, because the ride only gets more exciting from here. Message 5. If you wake up with a smile, you'll know who caused it. Now that's not just a text, folks. That's a little magic trick you're dropping into someone's morning routine. You're basically saying, hey, if you feel good tomorrow, don't be surprised if I'm the reason. It's playful, it's confident, and it makes you sound like the kind of person who sneaks joy into someone's day without even trying. Let's play out the scene. The alarm clock is buzzing, the sun is peeking through the blinds, and they're reaching for their phone with half-closed eyes. Notifications are stacked, emails, social media alerts, maybe a weather warning saying it's going to rain again, and then they see your message. Simple, short, cheeky. If you wake up with a smile, you'll know who caused it. Suddenly the grogginess fades just a little. Suddenly they're smiling at the phone before they've even brushed their teeth. That's the power of planting seeds, my friends. Because let's be real, most people don't think like this. Most people think connection is about doing the most, sending long, dramatic paragraphs, or overloading someone with constant attention. They believe the louder they are, the more they'll be remembered. But here's the truth. It's not the noise that gets remembered, it's the subtle spark, the small gesture that carries weight. Sometimes it's the feather, not the hammer, that leaves the biggest mark. And this text? It's feather-light, yet it lands heavy in the heart. It tells them something without needing to over-explain. I matter in your world. I influence your mood. I bring joy into your life. That's not arrogance. That's playful confidence, the kind that doesn't scream, pick me, but instead whispers, you'll think of me anyway. And whispers, by the way, often echo louder than shouts. Think about it. How many people are in their inbox? Dozens, hundreds, and how many of those people are actually making them feel something? Not many. Most are sending good night, good morning, wide, and sleep tight. Folks, that's not communication, that's background noise. But when you send this line, you're saying, I'm not here to fill space. I'm here to create a moment, and people don't forget moments. Here's the psychological side of it. Humans are wired to attach to emotions, not logic. They remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said. This text is simple, but it digs into that subconscious part of the brain that ties experiences with feelings. Tomorrow, when they smile, even if it's because of a funny dream, a good breakfast, or sunshine, they'll remember you told them they would smile because of you. And suddenly, you're stitched into their morning like coffee or toothpaste. That's how you anchor yourself in someone's daily rhythm. It's almost like planting a flag in their subconscious. You're not asking for credit, you're claiming it before it even happens. And that's where the confidence shines. You're not saying, I hope I make you smile. You're saying, when you smile, remember me. There's no begging, no seeking approval, just assurance. And assurance, folks, is magnetic. Now let's bust a myth here. People think being unforgettable means making grand gestures, flowers at the office, expensive dinners, over-the-top declarations. Sure, those things might work in the movies, but in real life is about consistency in the little things. The tiny, thoughtful moments that cut through the noise. A single line, timed perfectly, can outshine 100 roses wilting in a vase. Why? Because it's unexpected, it's clever, and it feels real. And let's not forget the humor woven in here. It's cheeky without being over the top. You're not saying, "You can't live without me." You're saying, "Hey, if you feel good, maybe I had a hand in that." It's like the wink at the end of a joke. Not pushy, just playful. And people love playful. Because playful feels safe, but it also feels alive. It says you're someone who doesn't take life too seriously, but you also know the power you bring. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what if they don't reply? And here's the answer. Who cares? You didn't send it for the reply. You sent it for the impression. You sent it to show confidence, to plant a seed. And seeds don't sprout overnight, folks. Sometimes they take a little water, a little time. But once they grow, they're not forgotten. That's the beauty of this. Even without a reply, you win. Because your words are alive in their head. It reminds me of that line. People may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. That's exactly what this message does. It makes them feel. It attaches you to something warm and light-hearted. And even if they don't consciously say, "Wow, that was clever," their subconscious is connecting dots. This person makes me smile. And that's a bond stronger than any essay of compliments could build. But here's the truth that scares most people. Subtlety requires courage. It's easy to over-explain. It's easy to dump words hoping something sticks. It's harder to trust that one short, confident line will carry the weight. But that's the very thing that separates the unforgettable from the forgotten. Most people are afraid to risk simplicity, but simplicity done right is power. So let me turn the question on you, my friends. Are you brave enough to send a line like this? Brave enough to keep it short, to keep it light, and to trust the impact it will leave? Or will you keep hiding behind the safe, predictable "good night" and "sweet dreams"? The choice is yours. Safe keeps you invisible. Bold makes you unforgettable. Say this with me. I am the reason for smiles. I plant seeds of joy everywhere I go. Write it in the comments. Don't just whisper it. Claim it. Show yourself, show me, and show the world around you that you're not afraid to step into that role. Because once you start believing you are someone who makes people smile, guess what? You become that person. And remember, folks, this was just one move in your playbook. If you thought influencing someone's morning mood was powerful, wait until you see the final message. The last one doesn't just make them smile. It gives them an open invitation, a doorway back to you anytime they need. That's where the real connection deepens. So don't go anywhere, because the best is yet to come. Message 6. Good night. If you can't sleep, you know where to find me. Folks, let's pause here and really look at this. That's not just a text. That's not just a string of words thrown into someone's inbox. That's an invitation, a doorway, a little glowing nightlight left on in case they want to wander back to you. And that's why it works. It's not pushy, it's not needy, it's not over the top. It's calm, it's confident. It's the kind of line that doesn't chase, but still stays unforgettable. Think about how rare that balance is. Most people fall into extremes. On one end, you've got the ones who come on too strong, sending 10 good night texts, over-explaining, begging for replies, trying to fill every silence with words. On the other end, you've got the ones who disappear completely, saying nothing, leaving the other person wondering if they even care. Both of those extremes are exhausting. But this line, it's the sweet spot, right in the middle. It's like Goldilocks porridge, just right. Why? Because it whispers reassurance while sprinkling in a hint of mystery. It says, "I'm here if you want me. I'm not going to beg, I'm not going to vanish, but I'm right here if you reach out. That's powerful. Because deep down, people crave two things: safety and intrigue. They want to know they have a soft place to land, but they also want to feel a spark, a little curiosity, a little sense of adventure. This text does both. Now let's imagine the moment. It's late. The room is dark. They've tossed and turned, stared at the ceiling, flipped their pillow to the cool side 3 times. Their brain is buzzing with thoughts, work stress, random memories, that embarrassing thing they said in 3rd grade that still haunts them. Then they see your message glowing on their screen. If you can't sleep, you know where to find me. And suddenly the room feels lighter. Suddenly they're not alone in their restlessness. You've opened a window in their mind that says, "It's okay. You're not by yourself in this moment." That's why it works. It's not just a text, it's a comfort blanket disguised as words. It tells them you're present without crowding them. It's like leaving your porch light on. You're not dragging them inside, but you're saying, "If you want to stop by, the door's unlocked." That kind of steady confidence is rare, and rare things always grab attention. Here's the kicker. This line isn't just about them. It's also about you. It shows that you're the type of person who doesn't panic in silence. You don't need constant validation. You don't feel threatened by giving someone space. That's emotional intelligence, folks. That's knowing when to lean in and when to lean back. And trust me, people notice that. They feel it. It's magnetic because it's mature. Think about modern communication for a second. It's noisy out there. Notifications, memes, likes, comments. It's all surface-level chatter. Most people don't even remember half the conversations they had yesterday. But when someone finds a message that feels intentional, calm, and thoughtful, it cuts through the static like a lighthouse beam in a storm. That's what this line is, a lighthouse. Guiding, steady, always there if needed. But here's something to chew on. Why is it so hard for people to send something this simple? Why do most stick to the generic good night or avoid sending anything at all? The answer is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being ignored, fear of looking like they care too much, so they settle for safe, bland, forgettable texts, or worse, silence, and then they wonder why nothing memorable ever happens. But you, my friends, you're learning how to break that cycle. You're learning that a simple, confident invitation like this is not weakness. It's strength. It's not saying, "Please like me." It's saying, "I know my value. I'm available, but only on my terms." And that subtle shift changes everything. It flips the script from chasing to attracting. Let's go deeper. When someone reads this, curiosity kicks in. They start asking questions in their own mind. What would happen if I text back? Would we stay up talking? Would it be fun? Would it feel different? And curiosity, as I've said before, is like an itch. You can't ignore it for long. By planting that question in their head, you're making sure you stay on their mind long after they've put the phone down. Now let's add a little humor, because humor always seals the deal. This text is basically like saying, "Hey, I'm the 24-hour diner of comfort, open all night, but only if you're hungry." Or, "I'm the midnight radio station, always on, always smooth, always there when the silence feels too loud." See what I mean? It's not needy, it's not clingy, it's just available. And availability with confidence is one of the most underrated superpowers in human connection. And here's the motivational truth behind it. When you start sending messages like this, you're training yourself to communicate from a place of worth, not fear. You're learning that you don't need to overcompensate. You don't need to prove yourself with long essays or desperate jokes. Sometimes all it takes is one confident sentence to show the world who you are. So let me ask you, are you willing to be that steady, confident presence? Are you willing to be the lighthouse instead of the flashing neon sign? Because people don't remember the neon after the lights go out. They remember the steady glow that guided them home. Say this out loud with me. I am a safe space. I am confident in silence. I am unforgettable in simplicity. Now write it in the comments. Claim it. Don't just read these words. Declare them. Show yourself. Show me. Show the world around you that you're done hiding behind fear, done drowning in the noise of generic words. You're stepping into the power of intention. And let's stir some curiosity before we close, because while this message is the closer, the ultimate good night, it's also the beginning of something deeper. If one sentence can keep someone awake wondering about you, imagine what the rest of your conversations could do. Imagine the doors this opens, the stories this builds, the late-night laughs and the early morning smiles. This is just the first brick in a house you're building. So the next time you're about to type out "good night," pause, remember what you've learned here, then send the line that says more than just "sleep well." Send the line that lingers, that comforts, that sparks curiosity. Send. Good night. If you can't sleep, you know where to find me. And trust me, my friends, when they read it, they'll know exactly where their thoughts are headed, straight to you.